So this Candace Owens get fired by dailywire.
Who is finally
Ben Shapiro actually kicked her out.
free, she says, after being ousted from the Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring's operation, the Daily Wire, has finally fired Candace Owens. Now, they fired her, according to TMZ, apparently, for
So
anti-Semitism.
what's the actual reason? Anti-Semitism.
Candace Owens and conservative website The Daily Wire have officially broken up. Friday morning, the Daily Wire CEO, Jeremy Boring, posted on X, quote, Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their relationship. He did not give a reason on the circumstances that led to this shift.
Why not?
But earlier this week, the Anti-Defamation League highlighted the fact that white supremacist Nick Fuentes applauded Owens' rhetoric on Jews. Owens has been outspoken in her commentary about Jewish people in politics, in the media, and her support for Palestine.
Regardless, based on her latest episode posted just
Because of Nick Fuentes.
yesterday, the news may have come as a surprise to Owens. Take a look.
Oh, shit. Look at that. That's Jessica Burbank, right? I thought she was a TYT.
I'm not going to go away. I'm going to use my God-given voice to talk about the things that are important for me. I'm just asking to be left alone, or at least just report the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today. But don't worry.
What's the actual truth?
Because we will see you tomorrow for a brand new episode.
Anyway, the one thing I do want to mention about Candace Owens really quickly, a white supremacist through and through, by the way, make no mistake. My position on Candace Owens has not changed and will most likely never change. She is a grifter. She is a white supremacist. She is the blackface of white
So what
supremacy.
is she actually saying?
100%. Like her sole purpose for many, many years specifically was to let really racist white people feel a little bit better about their racism because a black woman was saying the same things that they're saying. That's definite, okay? That's something that everyone needs to understand. Candace Owens also was already an anti-Semite before she was hired at the Daily Wire. So make no mistake, she was not fired from the Daily Wire for anti-Semitism. She was fired
What
from
is?
the Daily Wire for being pro-Palestine. Now, is she genuine in her pro-Palestinian emancipation? Is this another way for her to launder anti-Semitic narratives? Maybe, okay? I have not listened to Candace in such a long time. I don't know. I would suspect that it's probably not genuine. I suspect that it's most likely not genuine because I think anti-Semitism is probably the more leading interest that she has. So just remember that.
The controversial right-wing commentator took to her own X account, posting, quote, the rumors are true. I'm finally free, end quote. There will be many additional quote, there will be many announcements in the weeks
Free really? What was that bad name?
Owens joined the Daily Wire back in 2021. It's a little bit unclear about what's next for Owens here. Very obvious she's not with the Daily Wire anymore, and that whether it was a firing or they had a conversation this morning that ended in them deciding to end their relationship, all the language makes it sound like they broke up and that it was a romantic relationship. They're going their separate ways, though. I was just saying yesterday to a friend that it might be the case that Ben Shapiro's keeping Candace Owens at the Daily Wire despite his pro-Israel views to show that even though there was reporting that was pro-Israel, hey, we had this other host at the Daily Wire that was saying something else. It seems
I'm tweet out, Candace Owens was an anti-Semite before she was hired at Daily Wire. She was fired for being
So
anti-Israel.
no more opposing views
I'm
then?
not making an assessment on whether her pro-Palestinian sentiment is
Benny boy.
genuine or not. Ben Shapiro has openly defended anti-Semites because of their pro-Israeli positions. Anyone have that famous Ann Coulter tweet? I will, however, celebrate and cherish any kind of like drama happening in right-wing circles because it's awesome. Did you see this? Biden and his supporters are officially further right than Alex Jones. Israel has lost the high ground. This is not war. It is robotic mass genocide. Section. Sorry. Israel has lost the high ground. This is not war. It is robotic mass genocide. Section
All right,
1091 of Title 18 United States Code prohibits genocide, whether committed in time of peace or time of war. Genocide is defined in 1091 and includes violent attacks with the specific intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. I guarantee he's saying that because he's anti-Semitic. You know, the one thing that Alex Jones would always do is like he would always do the like anti-Semitic conspiracies, but then he would always stop when it came to blaming the Jews, which is really interesting. Just, I mean, you saw it with the Kanye West conversation too. But who knows? Maybe he's
He doesn't go too far.
adopted his position. He would always say globalist. And a guy like that,
He
Alex
has
Jones,
adopted this position, I
would have
guess.
been a better debate partner for Benny Morris. Genuinely, Alex Jones tweeting this out made my insane Zionist father say that Israel is doing a genocide. Never thought
So beneficial that way as
like handed to
well.
Alex Jones. Wait, what? Dude, your parents are fascinating. Your parents are legitimately fascinating, dude. Hassan Izabai asked his mom specifically the same analogy that I brought forward about like if you were trapped in a school with a school shooter, like ask your mom, who's like super Zionist, ask your mom if she'd be fine with like blowing up the entire school and the entire city block, as a matter of fact, and killing you in the school. Like, would that be an appropriate way to deal with a mass shooter or a school shooter? And his mom said yes. Yes, you would die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Now I'm finding out, no, she said it depends.
Kind of ends, okay.
Sorry. It depends. Which is still pretty crazy. The reason that analogy doesn't work for Zionists is because they understand that the schools in surrounding areas will be populated by Arabs. Alex Jones, of course, make no mistake, like I also mentioned, always close to anti-Semites, had him on the show all the time, loves them, hypes them up, hired anti-Semites who said very anti-Semitic things. I'm simply stating that despite of all of that, in spite of all of that, and in spite of all of the things that he said that you could very easily substitute for Jews, which is the classic, like all of the conspiracies that he would promote were basically all like, oh, Jews are doing this, is what most people would say if they believe that kind of conspiratorial thinking. He just would never say Jews, which is really funny because he was
And they are doing it.
trying to coach Kanye West on how to do proper propaganda. It's like, come on, Kanye, you don't mean Jews, right? Not all Jews. Just something interesting to consider. That was definitely a crazy moment. Y'all remember this?
I'm tired of hearing I'm a Nazi. I'm really, I'm not. But I think by them falsely accusing people, some people are going to become Nazis. I am. Now what? I am. Now what? Now
Y'all
I'm a
remember
Nazi.
this? American politics.
Actually unhinged, bro.
Insane, bro. Video can't see his face. That's right. That could be anybody under that mask. Oh, and then I told my dad to watch Al Jazeera civilian drone strike video. Shortly thereafter, asked him to let me know what he thought. His first words after watching the video: "Are we sure they aren't Hamas?" Jesus Christ. Generation Alpha is going to be so brain broken. What do you mean, dude? They have a healthy diet of watching Kanye West, kick streamers, and Andrew Tate. Surely that'll be normal. Like the impact of such things will be normal.
Seems that that's not a strategy at all at the Daily Wire, and who knows if it was their choice or Candace's choice, but curious to see what she does next.
Yeah, I mean, based on the fact that she said see you tomorrow, that definitely suggests that the Daily Wire pulled the trigger and fired her. I think, people who have been following some of the internal feuding at the Daily Wire probably are not super surprised by this. It's definitely the case that Ben Shapiro was very troubled by her views on the Israel-Palestine conflict. He is obviously one of the most pro-Israel voices in conservative media, and they've had public tension around what she's been saying on her show. There was one
Bro, Candace Owens literally said Hitler wanted to make Germany great, okay, before she was hired by the Daily Wire. Please,
What?
if anyone comes at me and goes, oh yeah, this is because of anti-Semitism, you can suck my entire, okay? You are literally the dumbest person on the planet. No, he didn't give a as long as she shut the fuck up about Palestine. I will never, ever in a million years believe that Ben Shapiro gives a single shred of a shit about someone's anti-Semitic tendencies or anti-Semitic statements, okay? Ben Shapiro, make no
Okay, he's using a bit nearby.
does not about anti-Semitism. In that tweet that I just posted in the chat, I showed you, he very clearly has defended anti-Semites. Ann Coulter tweets regarding Jews. Awful, nonsensical. Ann Coulter is also super pro-Israel and always has been, so I won't lose sleep. Oh my God, a trash. She said it was bad for Hitler to go into other countries. Maybe she applies the same principle to Israel. Yes, she does, except in the other direction, if that makes sense. She applies a similar principle. That principle is anti-Semitism. I believe that Candace Owens is 100% an anti-Semite, okay? Die in the wool, straight up anti-Semite. Are you saying Ben Shapiro was anti-Semitic? I think so. Yeah, I don't think that's like that. I believe Ben Shapiro is anti-Semitic in the same exact way that Candace Owens is anti-black. Doesn't give a shit. And just like he doesn't give a shit what happens to Jews in general, as long as white evangelical Protestants are on board.
Yeah, I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. He was a National Socialist. But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize.
She's like, bro, what do you mean? Hitler wanted to make Germany great? So
Why
like
is the comparison
the concentration camp
is so bad?
for communist, socialist, trade unionist Jews, like the Roma people, disabled people, gay people. That's all fine and dandy, honestly. That's fine. He just wanted to make Germany great. It was an issue when he started doing Lebensraum, Why the would you want to live with Polish people, dog? That's her take. Are you kidding me?
Everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German, everybody to look a different way. That's not, to me, that's not nationalism. So in thinking about how it could go bad down the line, I don't really have an issue with nationalism. I really don't. I think that it's okay. It's important to retain your
Again, I don't have an issue with nationalism while talking about Hitler's domestic policies is insane.
Your country's identity, and to make sure that what's happening here, which I think is incredibly worrisome in terms of the decrease in the birth rate that we're seeing in the UK, is what you kind of want to avoid. So I don't have anything problem. I have no problems with nationalism. It's globalism that I try to avoid.
Between Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens, Ben is right. If Owens, oh God, Jank loves handing it to like some of the biggest charlatans. I would be on her side, but that's not all she does. She repeatedly said over the top anti-Semitic tropes. She was trying to get fired from Daily Wire. Congrats, mission accomplished. Yeah, dude. Except she was hired by the Daily Wire after this video. So it's so weird. Why don't you have a Jank accent voice? What kind of voice or accent does he have? I'm strongly reconsidering voting for your uncle. Yeah, even all of that, he's still significantly better as the president in comparison to Brandon. But, of course, brother. Is that good? Is that a good Jank impersonation? I don't know.
Point a few months ago where I believe she
actually it's helps in the
trying to
conversation.
get Ben Shapiro to convert to Christianity or something along those lines, and there was this huge argument over whether what she said was considered anti-Semitic, and really just things started to unravel from there. But I think Candace Owens is going to be fine. It looks like she has her own website that she's encouraging people to go to now. I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to do a show on X similar to what Tucker and Chris Cuomo are doing and Don Lemon attempted to do, and just go direct.
Can we count her as anti-Israel now? No, dude. I don't give a shit, okay? I don't count Candace Owens as anything, okay? Get out of here. Yeah, dude, Jake Shields, very prominent voice in the pro-Palestinian conversation. Like, get out of here. These guys are charlatans, dude. I show you a shit ton, thousands of great voices that are actually pro-Palestine and not why I left the right coming soon. No, she's not leaving the right. You know what I think she's going to do? And I do think that this is real. I've talked to people a long time ago about the Kanye West stuff that told me that Kanye West very much
team up with Nick Prentice or
was
something.
getting brain broken by the likes of Candace Owens into like this weird Hotep route. That's what she's gonna do. She's gonna be like a full-blown Hotep Jesus type. I think that's what she's gonna do. She's not gonna leave the right. But it's like really odd because she's done so much anti-black propaganda. So I don't even know how she can like flip back and be like a right-wing, anti-trans, anti-gay, but like pro-black. I actually don't know. Dr. Umar and Candace Owens, no. Here's the thing. Dr. Umar, for all of my disagreements with him, which there aren't that many because he's the GOAT, it has never been caught being even remotely anti-black, with the one exception. Cherry Hill, New Jersey, where Dr. Umar was pictured giving his phone to a snow bunny and essentially corresponding with said blonde white woman. That was the only time I've seen Dr. Umar slipping. That's it. Yeah, not gonna lie, you're delusional if you think Dr. Umar and Candace Owens are similar and very white. Yeah, I did not say that. I'm saying the exact opposite. So Dr. Umar is very charismatic and very funny overall. Dr. Umar was at the Cherry Hill Mall.
You got it.
This is fake news. Honestly, a lot of people forget that like artificial intelligence videos have actually advanced quite dramatically over the past couple of years. This is in 2022 and it is AI.
Look at it.
Yeah, he cleared the air. This is a fake video. What the f is a snow bunny? Think about it. Think about what it could be. What are we looking at in this video? He already explained that the video was this was a snow bunny that was selling incense, and he was simply buying some incense because the man loves his incense. Yeah, I always give my phone to girls that I want to buy incense from.
Look at it.
And also laugh at their jokes. Like full body laugh at their jokes. Not just like haha, full body bending. Something I wonder about videos like this, who the fuck is recording this? What random person in a mall would recognize this guy in public? Megaphonics. You have done right now is demonstrate how incredibly white you are, okay? Dr. Umar is a incredibly famous person, especially in the black community, especially. Dr. Umar isn't dumb enough to get caught like this. He's just testing his followers. True. See
There's
that?
absolutely no privacy whatsoever.
That I agree with. Umar laughed at her joke like she was Sydney Sweeney. Oh my God. You full body laughed at Sydney Sweeney? Yeah. He's the prince of Pan-Africanism. And also, building a school, which will any moment. Actually, I don't know. Maybe he has built it since the last time I checked in, so I don't know. He wasn't laughing. He was picking up the bag.
Just extrapolating a bit here.
I was
But
wrong because I wanted it to be
10 second clip.
debunked. You debunked it. He put out a whole response to this like he committed a crime. Yeah, because in his world, this is a little bit like, you know, this is a no-no. You can't be doing this. This is the Dr. Umar equivalent of me like having literal indentured servants that edit my videos or something. You know what I mean? Like what people say I do.
Directly to the viewers. She is one of those sort of names that can definitely draw an audience on her own without
How is bro even able to reach out? This is impossible. Does this guy really hate and condemn Nazis but loves communists and the Ottomans? Am I missing something? No, actually, you're kind of not wrong. You kind of nailed it. No, literally. I thought you were coming in here with some hater ass energy, but it turns out like you did get it. It is kind of spot on. I suspect that you and I will have disagreements on like why that is not appropriate, but like low-key, you kind of cook. This is one of the few instances where one of my haters nails it.
the institutional backing, but it seems like it's going to come with probably a pretty significant pay cut. Based on the reporting from when she was hired, she was getting a pretty hefty salary from the Daily Wire, and she'll have to make up for that with subscriptions if that's the route that she decides to go and decides to be independent. But again, I'm not surprised by this at all. It seemed like this was brewing for quite some time.
It's very sad to see the state of American media with the unfolding of what's happened since October 7th, that we've seen the expectation that the American people as a monolith support Israel because Israel is an ally, and because the Jewish people have a brutal history, that any criticism of them fighting for having a state must be anti-Semitic. But to assume that a state represents people who are not its citizens is something that we've fought against as a country. We have fought for countries to not become ethno-states and instead, be democratic states. It's something we've used as a reason to go overseas and fight for people's freedom over. And we've called people religious extremists, the State Department themselves, for folks trying to establish a caliphate, an Islamic state. But to be fine with a Jewish state, it's not anti-Semitic to point out that that is hypocritical. And Candace Owens saying that she feels she's fired, or feels that she was under fire rather before she was fired, for telling the truth, and to make a statement like, I'm going to continue to tell the truth, people want to attack us for simply saying the truth. There are a lot of people who have reported basic facts about the situation in Gaza, things that have happened by the hands of Israel and the IDF, and they've been called anti-Semitic just for reporting what has happened. And so there's a solid point there. We've seen Mehdi Hassan.
Okay, but you have to fucking recognize that Candace Owens definitely is anti-Semitic.
This is Hassan.
Like, come on.
MSNBC.
Mehdi Hassan is not, but Candace Owens definitely is anti-Semitic.
And it's a scary
I wouldn't even bring up Mehdi Hassan and Candace Owens in the same fucking conversation, really.
moment where I think a lot of people are realizing just how powerful the American media is, but it's a bit mask off to be directly firing people that are doing the most reporting on Palestine.
Yeah, I agree. It is really unfortunate.
That's not why she got fired. Dude, I don't think, I do not think they fired Candace Owens for anti-Semitism. They hired Candace Owens when they knew she was an anti-Semite. That's crazy. It's like firing Steven Crowder for being racist. Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, what do you mean? You want to hire him for being racist? What's going on? All I will say is, do you know Corey Kenshin? Yes, he's great. He's the GOAT. What has she said that is
So what's the reason then?
Someone said she praised Hitler's domestic policies and nationalism. Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
All right, we began with the border.
Oh, oops, my bad. Anyway, wishing Candace Owens the absolute worst luck. The amount of left is running some level of defense for Candace in the comments of TikTok videos of her saying pro-Palestinian things is wild. It's like a crazy lack of object permanence. No, they just don't know. Guys, Propaganda works very well, and even on TikTok, and especially so on social media. If most of the things you hear about a person are not like all of their objectionable views because you literally developed object permanence in the last 3 fucking years, okay? You probably didn't know that Candace Owens is like a fucking anti-black, white supremacist, anti-Semite, and all those things. You probably only saw her cooking on TikTok with like pro-Palestine shit, okay? That's it. So you don't even like think about it. This is the same exact reason why so many of my fucking clips that make it to like Reddit After Dark or whatever have a litany of comments underneath it like, damn, well, I fucking normally hate a song, but he really cooked here. And the take that they're saying that to is like a take that I've had for 10 fucking years. So obviously, it means that like people are motivated by the drama that they see because actual politics is fucking boring. So as far as the drama goes, especially when we're talking about like how young these people
People like drama shit.
they have no understanding of anything. They just only have like seen this new feverish response that is, you know, this new like pro-Palestinian messaging that they recently got on board with. I mean, I'll take it. I'm happy to see so much pro-Palestinian messaging on TikTok. It makes me very happy. It fills my heart with joy. But remember that a lot of those people are easily misdirected. It's sad to admit this as a Muslim, but it's like when Muslims ran defense for Andrew Tate after reverting. Exactly. There are actual Palestinians who are aware she's problematic, but appreciate that she's been talking about this from the beginning. Beginning of what? October 8th? Or beginning since she started her political career? Because her ass, as far as I know, was never really pro-Palestine before it became like infinitely more popular to be pro-Palestine. It's still not very popular to be pro-Palestine, make no mistake. It has, however, gotten increasingly more popular to be openly
Not popular? What?
pro-Palestine.
What is it
anyway.
talking about? It's actually very popular to be pro-Palestine. Yes, I'm telling that.